Okay, I am recording now, and I'm going to show you how I get the pictures of the orbs and the movements. I'm using my new camera, and I'm going to show you what I'm also using is this bunch of marbles. They're put in the pattern of the flower of life. There's one missing right there. But what I do, in the background I have music. Well, not music, but sounds of the ocean. And now I will show you how you focus. You see all the gleams of light on the marble. You don't focus on the marble like you were looking through it, but you do focus on those gleams of light. Now, I will show you what happens when you bring your focus in. Now look at the light source. See all the patterns coming out of that? Oh, there's a very interesting one. Now I can zoom in even closer. And there's activity going on in all of these orbs. They're just a little peek hole. All this activity that's going on in them is activity that is, well, I'm at a loss for words because I think I'm seeing Harry. With my other camera, I get this little creature that moves in and out of the different orbs, and he's kind of a dark little thing with little big white eyes. And I've never caught him with this camera. This new one. I've been thinking that he was a creature that was maybe a piece of debris stuck in my other camera because I've had it a long time and it's had time to get dirt in it, especially since I lost the cover to the lens. Well, anyway, I'll get on with what I was saying now. I forgot what I was saying. I just want to show you how these orbs that are with the long streaks through it right there, those will go right back into the light when I turn the marbles in such a way it shows them going back into the light. But I have to go back further for you to see that. Okay, you see that now? They come out of the light and they go back into the light. But these big ones don't seem to do that. And they're best seen when I bring them in a little closer up. Each one seems to be showing a different terrain. And they're very interesting. But what they are, that, I couldn't tell you. Sometimes there's a black bunch of stuff that comes over it, like this one right here is showing. See, that black, sometimes when I look at it closer up, it's colorful bubbles, but they look black from a distance. And look at this one, it's got a lot of yellow and blue in it. And this is just the strangest thing to me, and I think it needs to have some quantum physicists look at it, because many people who I don't think they know what they're talking about, but they say, oh, this is just something marbles do, or this is just your camera. Well, I don't believe that, because I see this without the camera, with my natural eye. But I never would talk to people much about that, because they would tend to think you're crazy. And I just prayed about it. I said, I hope I can be able to take pictures of what I see with my eyes. Well, this is sort of getting there. What I see with my natural eye is a little more interesting. But this is interesting itself. But with my natural eye, I hold this up close to my face, and I look through one of these, and it's like a spyglass. I can just peer at what's on the other side, like I'm doing now. but it's unbroken. It's not coming to me through just one hole, because it's like you're looking through a hole and you move the hole with your head, moving with it, and so you see the whole panorama of what's behind there, very intricate. And each one of these is a separate, it seems to me, kind of little strange world of light. I'm not getting real colorful. Let me get back here and get comfortable. Look at that one. Isn't that strange? And that one, that's different. I'm just going to show you various ones. That there are creatures that live in light, that's not a big stretch for the imagination, because just seeing this, you're seeing light that's in your room. I'm just in my bedroom, and I have a light. I'll show you my light. I don't know if I showed you a picture of that. I did, though. But there it is. It's on a shelf above my computer. And I have this little thing of marbles. I'm not trying to fool anybody or make something up. This has been amazing me for quite a while. I do believe I have discovered how to see into another dimension of light. And it's very interesting. Sometimes I will play some music and focus on just one orb, and the music seems to be in sync with the orb, or the orb's in sync with the music or something, because it seems to reflect the music or the person speaking. I've made several videos of that sort, where I have a speaker and I have an orb and showing it the movements. Now when I take this thing of marbles and I turn it in, let me go back in some so you can see this. When I turn it this way or that way or over this way or that way, when the slightest turn changes the scene inside of the orbs. So I'm thinking there's just little light whirls just everywhere. Now I'll go up close inside of one again. It's when you focus your digital camera up at one of the closest of the focus it will go on any of these orbs that you see all this. And I'm holding my hand pretty steady, and you will see what looks like pulsations in the orb. Some of it maybe my hand is not holding it as steady as I could, but there is movement. There's that black thing again. It just moved into this scene. So, explore with me. I'm not going to do too much talking now. I'm just going to focus on some of these and let you enjoy seeing them. Because there really isn't much I have to say about what it is I'm seeing, since I don't know. Like, quite frankly, I just do not know what is going on. But it's something amazing. I think I'll make them a little smaller. And maybe a little bigger. It's like watching several television screens. Say, what's happening over here on this channel? And sometimes in one, there'll be a pulsation that is more rapid, like this one right here. I'm focusing into the center. Than the one right above it, see? And I don't know what that means, but I have noticed that. Okay, I will interject something here. I was just thinking, who would imagine you could have an adventure like this within the confines of your own home, in your own room, with just simple devices as a digital camera and a light and some marbles, that you could see into another kind of dimension, which I totally believe this to be. It's got to be something. If anyone watching this knows better than me what I'm looking at, and there's some explanation they have, I would love to hear it. I might get a little different angle. Okay, I'm going to focus on just one for a while. I think I'll choose this one. I have done an experiment in which I held the camera still. It was on a tripod, and I mounted the marble structure so that it was still. So everything was still. And I got one of these that had no movement in it that was real visible, but I used the I had it on for about 5 minutes, and the stuff inside here did move. It just moved so slow, but there was movement of a slower nature. Now that one had looked all black, and now it's looking all like little colorful bubbles. That's what happens when I see a darkness in this. Sometimes I'll focus on that darkness. I'll just look at it, and it will change and become more colorful, and it looks like little colorful bubbles. I'm going to look for another dark place and see if it turns into colorful bubbles. There's one that's kind of dark. Let's see what it does. Well, can't really tell. It already had a little color in it already. I don't know what these colors are telling us, if it's a kind of communication. I do not understand this language of this light. But I am sure that light is information, and that this represents something. Okay, there's a dark spot in that one. Well, kind of went away. Well, I don't want to film this too much longer. I've done it enough now that you can see. I will ease out of it back to a normal stage, not close up, and explain another thing. The way that I see this is that if I hold this up close to my face, the little gleam of light will project itself a little ways up from the marble, and that's what I look through by moving this whole thing, you know, this way and that way. And then I'm just looking all around, a very panorama type view of a world of light. I always wanted to capture it in picture form so I could draw it. Well, at least I'm getting it a little bit now, but there's no way I can draw this kind of stuff. It's just too difficult. Anyway, look down there at my little dog. Hey Jack, look up at me. You're being videotaped. I love sitting here on my bed at night looking at the light. Whether I'm making a film or taking pictures that are still shots. And if you'll notice on my channel, I have a lot of pictures of orbs. There are other shapes to them other than round. I have some amazing movements the orbs are doing in some of my other videos. You might want to check them out. I know a lot of people think, well, this is just light, but we have never understood light. This is not just light reflection, and you can just say, well, that's all it is. We're not really looking, if we say something like that. We need to look deeper into this. It's very phenomenal, and I think it has some kind of message for me, maybe for someone else too. And I would hope that others would explore this. Look at this one, it's looking so beautiful. I'll move around to see if I could show you more of the terrain of this one. I'm keeping it on that one particular shiny spot. Now I moved it to a place where it doesn't have enough light. Part of it's getting dark. Well, but I'm in the light, so other ones around it don't have darkness. I don't know what causes things like that. Like here's another one that has that dark part on it. Now I'm going to look at it a while and see if it changes. Try to go closer into it. Well, it's not all dark. There's color in there a little bit. Now there's a very, very dark place. Although dark doesn't mean anything has to be all bad if it's black or dark, because the darkness is the shadow that defines the light. And we need to learn to love the darkness into the light instead of thinking anything that's dark is just all bad. Send love to the dark places. Because you care about the dark doesn't mean you believe that you're helping them to be like, like they are. It means that you're using an influence on them. It's not saying you condone what the dark does, because sometimes people do deeds that would be considered dark, but they do it in ignorance of what they're doing. They don't understand. Well, enough of the dark one. I'm going to go over to this one right beside it. Okay, I'm going to end this now. And this is the Dove Lady, over and out for now.